In modern media, most people like to have discussions on something's quality. Since its original run in 1999, SpongeBob SquarePants has had many discussions on its quality over the years. From bad seasons, to characters, to staff changes, to episodes. And today's video is about the worst of the worst. Choir Boys is a season 6 episode which aired in mid-2009. And over the now decade it's been around, a lot of people, including myself, have deemed it the worst episode of SpongeBob ever. Why is that? Well, if it wasn't for the disgusting imagery, pandering attempts at comedy, and being the most boring thing to ever be classified as a cartoon episode, this might have been a little less obvious. So let's review it, for fun, I guess. The episode starts off at Squidward's house. We zoom into his bathroom door as we see some very specific signs saying to do not disturb. For someone who lives by himself all the time, this seems a little unnecessary, but we see later that it was probably to keep SpongeBob and Patrick out. We also get a little bit of Cavatina Figaro by the amazing Rossini in the background, as Squidward sings to himself in the shower, only his silhouette visible. After his truly spectacular musical number ends and he comes out of the shower, his toilet and toilet paper become live creatures and talk to each other, in a very weird and dumb scene. They have nothing to do with anything, by the way. It seems like Squidward wants to leave a good first impression on the Bikini Bottom men's choir, and that's exactly what he tells us. Show don't tell, ladies and jellyfish. But fine, it's SpongeBob. Let's move on. As Squidward is walking to his bike, which is on the road waiting for him, he sees SpongeBob laying in the dirt. He asks SpongeBob what's wrong with him, and he clings onto Squidward and says that he's bored without Patrick. This boredom goes on for a minute and a half. After Squidward gets on his bike, SpongeBob coughs infuriatingly for a couple more seconds until Squidward leaves. The first 4 minutes of the episode is nothing but filler, and he gets on your nerves fast. Side note, Squidward's snootiness in this portion can be a little annoying, particularly towards the end of it, but we'll be feeling bad for him in a couple seconds, don't worry. As Squidward keeps going and singing to himself, SpongeBob catches up and starts being annoying again. As Squidward passes by again, SpongeBob says this:
"Perhaps Squidward didn't see me."
While I would be grateful that he made SpongeBob oblivious rather than intentionally annoying, this is just as infuriating as a Palfragary in that department. SpongeBob digs a pothole in the ground, even though he was behind Squidward, and Squidward hits it, going flying into jellyfish fields. Then this scene happens.
What a lucky break! Now I have a captive audience.
After 10 years of this show going on, it's really truly embarrassing to see this kind of thing. This scene, in my opinion, is the lowest SpongeBob has ever been and hopefully ever will be in terms of quality. After that scene, Squidward, with a face full of stings, takes a shortcut through some undersea corn to avoid SpongeBob, and we get the writer's attempt at comedy, where SpongeBob is dressed as a cop with a mustache, being just as annoying again. This episode is just such a bore to get through. Like, this isn't funny. After Squidward tapes SpongeBob to a tree, he sings beautifully for the first time in the episode, and the ends, unfortunately, do not justify the means here. All the jellyfish come towards him, the tape that was holding him comes free, and the jellyfish lift him up, and he becomes Sponge Jesus all of a sudden. This scene is extremely stupid, looks visually unappealing in every way, and does nothing to further anything in the story. The episode could have literally ended with SpongeBob taped to the tree, but no, we now go to the men's choir as Grandma from How You Seen a Snail plays piano, and Squidward arrogantly clears his throat at another job for comedy and sings terribly. Then SpongeBob comes in like Jesus, impresses everyone, and even gets a mustache. The ending might be somewhat forgivable if Squidward's scene wasn't such an utter letdown. Also, I really needed to see Squidward with a mustache. Squidward is ashamed, even though anyone and their grandma should have known that his singing sucked, and SpongeBob actually thinks about him. Instead of actually being funny, it's a cop-out ending with Squidward turning SpongeBob's page. Haha, isn't that funny? That was Choir Boys. It was truly a terrible episode and still holds up as my least favorite episode of SpongeBob. Did it have any redeeming qualities? Not really, no. And that's why I hate it. It's not funny, the characters are flanderized and bland, the world is against Squidward as always, and it has so many boring scenes and it fails in every way. But what do you think of the episode? Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below, follow me on Twitter at Mr. A.S.K, and join my Discord server for more fun. Like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you ladies and jellyfish in the next one. Ciao!